If you live in Boise, Idaho, you could be voting in one of the state's most contentious races this election, and that is the race for the Senate seat in District 15. People have donated more to it than any other race in the state, if that's any indication. This will actually be a rematch of the 2022 election, in which the same Democratic candidate eked out a victory by just 327 votes. I'm Sally Krutzig, a reporter with the Idaho Statesman. Much of the information I'm going to talk about came from our voter guides, where we send candidates out a list of questions and they send back their responses, and then we also invited the candidates to our office to talk about their beliefs in person. You can find both of those in the link in our bio. Okay, so we have two candidates, Democrat James Rick Just and Republican Cody Galloway. When it comes to their biggest priorities, Just told us and the Idaho Capital Sun that his are better public school funding, better childcare support, better disability support, protecting public lands, and reducing property taxes. Galloway said hers are education, public safety, roads, lowering taxes, family values, and making Boise more affordable. Just said one Idaho law he wishes hadn't passed in the legislature last year was one that now requires libraries to keep books deemed harmful away from minors. The law Galloway wishes hadn't passed was a bill giving $2 billion to modernize and repair school buildings. One of their biggest disagreements is around education funding. Just said he feels passionate about getting better funding for Idaho public schools. Just believes supporting a voucher system and spending tax dollars on private and religious schools that could have gone to public schools is unconstitutional. Galloway, on the other hand, supports alternatives to public schools and said she is open to funding private education. She said there is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to education and believes parents should have more choices. And then moving on to a hot-button issue is abortion. Just said he wants to keep the legislature out of the doctor's office and supports abortion rights. Galloway was pretty evasive when we asked her about abortion, but we do know that during her term in the Senate, she voted in favor of banning abortion after 6 weeks and in favor of another law that allows family members of someone who got an abortion to sue the doctor who performed it. And finally, I do want to quickly touch on some attack ads against Just because they are some of the most targeted we've seen here in Boise, and they're an indication that Galloway is supported by some pretty far-right groups. Here's one of them, calling Just a social justice warrior fighting for the woke left. Just responded by calling them racist, homophobic dog whistles. That is all I have for you on these candidates, and I hope these help you make a more informed decision on Tuesday.